Hey everybody, I just want to do a quick review of the Audio-Technica AT2020 USB microphone. It is a side address USB microphone, very simple, easy to use, and works on both Macs and PCs. I've used this particular mic a number of times for voiceover work, for giving webinars, and for Skype and Google Hangouts. And every time I've been very impressed with its solid audio quality and just its ease of use. I've never had any trouble getting it to work with any computer. So in terms of value, you can usually find this microphone for around the $100 price point. Tremendous value. It's got a number of really positive reviews. If you check out Amazon or any sort of site like that, you'll see a number of people that are very happy with it. So this microphone in particular, it's a side address condenser microphone. Most of the USB mics that you find on the market are going to be condenser microphones, which are a little bit more sensitive to noise, which is great in an environment like this, where I'm just in my apartment, or if you were in a studio or something like that, and not dealing with a bunch of ambient noises coming through. It's also got very low sort of self noise. So sometimes when you're working with microphones, you'll find that there's a little bit of a hiss that you notice, and that's just due to the fact that it's so sensitive, it's picking up a sort of hum. And it's got a cardioid sort of recording pattern, which basically means that it takes in noises from this vector here. So if I were to turn this microphone around, you'd notice that the quality of the volume and the audio goes down significantly versus when I'm looking directly at the microphone. So in this sort of wedge, this cardioid pattern. So this mic is great for voiceover work, for Skype, Google Hangouts, just a great overall performer at a great price point. When you buy this, it comes with a nice little low tripod stand here, very stable, pivoting head, so you can move it in whatever direction you want. And then it's got a little sort of leather or faux leather case that comes with it. It's a little bit on the tight side if you try and stuff all this stuff, including the long USB microphone cord in there as well. But you can make it work. So some of the things I really like, as I mentioned, are just the general quality, ease of use. Also, it's a real solid build quality. You pick it up, it's got some nice heft to it. It's a good size, just real comfortable to work with. Also, it's got a nice rich tone to it, and it's pretty good at sort of filtering out ambient noises, so things that are outside of this sort of recording field right here in front of the microphone. As I've mentioned, never had any trouble getting it to work on various computers. I'm working on a Mac right now. I use PCs at work, so either way, real easy. A couple of things that people have mentioned who purchased the microphone that didn't like, the things that they didn't like, were the fact that it's got a little bit of a funky paint finish on it. I mean, you can barely notice it with mine, but I've seen some close-up pictures where it almost looks like someone dipped a toothbrush in some black paint and kind of flicked it, and got a few black paint speckles on it. Another thing that I've read is people with a higher pitched or sort of nasally toned voice don't always get the best reproduction on the microphone. And another thing is that, as I mentioned, it's very sort of simple and straightforward to use, meaning it also doesn't have some higher end features to it. Like I've got my Samson G-Track here, which has got a built-in gain control, separate gain control for instruments and for the mic itself. It's also got this Audio-Technica doesn't have a headphone jack, so you can't do self-monitoring, which you might be familiar with. That's what you'd see on like a radio show where the guys are wearing their headphones. They're actually monitoring what they're saying in real time, which is nice for just making sure that you're sounding as good as possible when you're working with the microphone. But if you're doing just basic recording work, fantastic mic, probably everything that you need. As I mentioned, overwhelmingly positive reviews. I've had a great time with it. The benefit of not having the gain controls built in are that you don't have to fuss with it each time to try and get them tuned in right to the particular computer software program you're working with. But anyway, let me switch over to the default microphone on my MacBook Pro here so you can kind of see the difference and pick up on the quality. Alright, so this is me recording on the built-in microphone on my MacBook Pro. As you can tell, just sort of a different tone quality that you get out of the built-in mic, a little bit more warbly, a little bit less audio fidelity. But yeah, so this will just give you a little comparison. So I just want to thank you for checking out my review of the Audio-Technica AT2020. If you want to get a little bit more information, check out the link below to the article on our site. And also another couple of considerations for you if you are in the market for a microphone, just a couple of accessories you might want to consider. These are ones that I have in my own sort of home studio here. One is a pop filter, right? So as I mentioned, these cardioid sort of style dynamic microphones are very sensitive, and so one of the things you can get sometimes is if you say something like potato or something with a sound to it, you get that sort of like rush of air over the mic, and it can cause kind of an unattractive sound. And so that's what this pop filter is for, is basically to break that kind of gush of wind over the mic so you don't get that pop noise or that kind of pop sound. If you don't want to buy one, sort of a cheap trick for creating one yourself is to actually just take some pantyhose over a wire clothes hanger. Just fold out the wire clothes hanger into a sort of diamond shape, run the pantyhose over it, and then you've basically got your pop filter. But for 10-15 bucks, I'll go with this guy, and it's got a nice sort of bendable stem here. Other thing is a sort of boom mic stand, which is really nice to keep the mic elevated right near your mouth instead of on your desk like I have it now. Usually I have my main microphone in one of these guys. And then also the sort of shock stand or spider mount here. And what it is basically just a little suspension system for your microphone, so that if you were to bump the boom or if you were to bump the table like that, you hear that gets transferred right into the microphone. So with a little bit of a shock absorbing system in place, you can kind of mitigate any noise that may come from bumping the desk or bumping your mic stand. All right, thanks for watching. Again, this was the Audio-Technica AT2020.